We are live. This is your boy Tico Trim, and this is a new OXSHIT video, basically. What I'm going to be talking about today is I'm going to touch on the hammerhand thing where he talked about his choice and what he wanted to do with as far as wanting to choosing the route to go to jail for the most part. So this is going to be a live stream with or without people joining in or not. So I'm going to talk about it because I wanted to talk about this and give my honest opinion on it from both a non-biased and from a non-biased person for the most part. Um, but my overall thoughts on the whole entire Hammerhand thing is I'm actually pretty much proud of him and I back him 100% on his choice. Um, that's just facts. Like I can't see myself not backing him for any given reason because he's actually on point and he got a point on how he wants to handle that. So you have no problems with him doing so. Um, the only well, he said he doesn't want to risk his people walking out in front of his truck and shit like that. I can understand that. So he weighed. It seems like he weighed the pros and cons of both. And on top of that, once you think about it, he doesn't have to pay taxes anymore if he's in jail. The taxes have to pay for him. So yeah, he gets to live off the government like just like everybody else, all the other people who suck off the government does. I mean, hey, it's a good route once you think about it. And on top of that, jails in the U.S. are way 10 times better than 10 times, 100 times, a million times better than jails in a third world country. So to sum that up for the most part, I think it's a great idea, and I don't see anything wrong with it to be honest with you. It seems like a pretty all right, start smart move, and like it's very brave, and all I can do is just tip my hat to Hammerhand on that note. Um, as far as any other thing, like the only downsides to that is nothing really because he's only going to court for child support. That's it. There's really no downside to it. It's not like he's like going to jail. I mean, he's going to jail for child support. It's not like he's going to jail for like a crime like a serious crime or anything like that. It's just child support. So he can actually get a job after he gets out. So it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah. So I actually tip my hat to him for making that decision. Yeah, I ain't got really very much to say on that, but yeah, I tip my hat to him. Um, that being said, moving right along to the next topic, the topic of we I got off the Hammerhand thing, so now let's talk about the that was pretty quick. I got that out. Nice. I'm actually shocked at how quick I got that out. Holy crap. Um, let's talk about um, my thoughts on various things that already did the single mother thing yesterday for a little bit after the 14-minute mark on my last video. So I'll talk about something else. I wanted to speak on something, but I forgot what it was. Oh, good lord, getting old. Might want to start writing shit down. Um, topic that I thought of that I wanted to speak on is about free free speech. I ramble on about free speech for the most part. My thoughts on free speech is that it's fun to do, and I want to do it all the time, and I love doing it, and I love freedom of speech. However, in Western worlds, I've noticed that free speech is hindered quite often, and it doesn't really get the recognition, or not the recognition, the due diligence that it does. Because I've noticed if it doesn't agree with somebody else, then it needs to be silenced or canceled for the most part, which really sucks. That goes to show the society that we live in these days. But it really sucks that, people want to silence other people's free speech, but want the freedom to speak, which really sucks. And the sad part about that is people don't realize if you silence people's freedom of speech, you'll be silencing your own freedom of speech. And this is the thing that people fail to realize about things like that. So you never want to silence freedom of speech because then you'll be infringing on your own freedom of speech or cancel culture. Because then people will use the same tactics against you. We watched it many times happen to many people. Um, for that reason, for the most part. So we watch people get silenced by their own tactics, and then they get upset that people silence them. This sucks, but it is what it is. And we got Double I in the house.
I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I hear you. I heard you before. Why? I don't know why you jumped out.
What's that?
That's it. I heard you before. I don't know why you jumped out.
Oh, because the microphone was on the wrong microphone instead of the microphone that I wanted to broadcast from. Yeah, there's a lot of wind noise and everything where I'm currently located.
Okay. Is your friend supervisor with you?
I'm sorry?
Supervisor with you?
There's a different location. I am on scene at at a at a park. Doesn't matter where, but I just wanted to do a
Okay, nice.
location shoot. Yeah, so I'm
Nice.
broadcasting from the park today, and the
Nice.
trouble connecting was getting a Wi-Fi and a place to sit. That was a difficulty, but I figured I'd broadcast not only with you, but the ability for people to watch some sort of a background while we're doing the thing, right?
And
So
Yam just joined us.
awesome.
Good. We're all three here.
Yeah.
Oh man, what y'all want to talk about? I touched on the hammerhand thing at the beginning of this video, where y'all were like doing what y'all were doing.
Hammerhand and what he's going through.
Yeah. Y'all want to elaborate on it more?
Well, I don't
Go
know
ahead.
the situation. I can't speak on his behalf, but from my perspective, someone who has not been able to keep up with child support payments and has ended up losing his license, his apartment, his car, essentially, and
Hello. Oh, okay.
I've gone to jail as well. Hey, supervisor, we can hear you.
Yo.
So, how's it going, bud?
Uh-huh.
Oh, continue.
Continue.
I'm good.
So, essentially, going to jail, is it possible? Yes. Can people do it? Yes. Can we put you in jail? Yes. Legally? No. That's what I can't find him or anything like that, direct contact. So if anybody does, please feel free to let him know that Double I has some intel that might assist. I'm not saying I'm a lawyer or nothing for him, but the fact of the matter is, I've got a whole lot of years in the pen, so to speak, the one invisible without bars, um, of child support, and I've learned quite a few things here and there. So basically, by understanding that, I'm willing to pass on that knowledge, even though I'm not completely done with my particular case. You see, no man has to go to jail for that. Debtor's prison is outlawed. We don't have debtor's prison in America.
Well, unfortunately, they toss you in there, especially if you're a guy. If you're a woman, you really don't do time too much for it. But if you're a guy, you do. Only known 2 women who actually went to jail for not paying child support.
Well, the thing is, I didn't go to jail for not paying child support. I went to jail for driving on a suspended license because of child support. Let's be very clear. So, you know, they didn't put me in jail because I had child support. They did adverse things to make me end up in jail. And I didn't even know my license was suspended and that sort of bullshit. Yeah. And once the cops found out, essentially, it didn't even go on my record. Once the cops found out, like in the third or fourth day after I couldn't get a hold of any of my family or anything like that, because nobody would take a collect call because nobody knew who was, you know, trying to make the collect call. And it was just horrible, dude. The construct is horrible when you go to jail and you don't expect it. So the first time is just always a horrible situation. So I don't recommend it to, but what I do recommend, if anybody knows that they're in threat or may end up in jail, you might want to do some reading to find out what your rights are, because I didn't know any of them when I ended up there.
Yeah, but what you don't realize is
that's why they helped me out.
Yeah, the problem with that is with the thing that you don't realize about him, Hammerhand, as far as that, he's actually went to jail for child support before, so he pretty knows the layout of the land. And like I said, child support is not like going to jail for, like, you know, murdering somebody or, you know, something heinous or crazy. It's pretty much comparative to that. It's pretty much going to jail with Martha Stewart.
Right. Exactly.
Jail in the U.S. is like a million times better than going to jail in a third world country, because you definitely don't, like, because if you ever been to Jamaica or America, I was telling somebody, I'd rather spend 5 years. Yeah, I would actually rather spend 5 years in American jail than spend a week in Jamaican prison.
Hold on, y'all. I'll be back. Wow, that's some nice camera footage. I'll be back.
Yeah.
That's the park. Welcome.
I see it. Nice.
Yeah. Here, let me show you the tour. Oh, say hi to Seggy.
Seggy. Say hi to Seggy. That's too funny.
This is how big the park is. Look at the park.
That's a nice half park. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's an old airfield. That right there is it's a runway right in front of you. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the visitor center.
Used to be a runway?
Yeah, used to be a runway. Used to be a naval base. Here, stand by. Let me recover. There you go.
You could turn off the camera.
Yeah. Well, that's because I got to get in front of it.
Oh man, but as far as that, it's kind of weird. I don't know.
Where's my mango chunks? There they are.
Link for this and put the link for flash stream and
The what?
Get your mango chunks on. Nice. The link for this live stream is actually in the actual description box if you want in, and there's nobody in there anyway. There's one person actually. So yeah, as far as that, like, I don't know. It's very weird. I don't know how to actually describe it, but yeah, it's so. As far as like actually doing it is different than like going, because like I've noticed when you go to jail for prior license, you get treated differently than you do. You get treated the same way if you were to like rob somebody for the most part. But if you go to child support court, it's pretty much like you just pretty much embezzle some money. For the most part.
Correct.
So like as far as that, like
only if you're in the same state though.
Yeah.
If you're in a different state, they can't do that. Yeah, if you're in a different state, they can't do that to you.
Yeah. But it's, I mean, they can actually arrest you and extradite you though back to another state.
Correct.
I mean, you can be
Yeah,
extradited
if
from
you're
one
in the right
state to
place.
another state. So
Yeah, if you got arrested in one state, you'll definitely be extradited. There's even countries with that
Pittsburgh
treaty.
police will drop you off, and yeah, states
Yeah, they even
pretty
got
much
countries.
have that treaty. Huh? Yeah. There's not too many countries on the no extradition treaty list. But yeah, I love those countries that's not on that list. Mexico's on that list, but they'll look for you if there's an incentive to look for you.
Yeah, they want the money. They
Yeah, it's
essentially
like
want the money. They don't want.
if you pay the
They
local
don't want to
government,
deal
nope,
with
I
you
didn't
unless you
see
got
them.
money.
I didn't see them at all. No Tico here.
Precisely.
Huh? Yeah. I know no
Precisely.
Tico. You never heard any Tico. Tico who? Like
Who's gonna
he
Tico?
just did a video Guadalajara. Nope, no Tico. No Tico here.
Speaking of names, you wanna you want me to touch on what I've learned with how far the name and the fallacy goes?
The name and a fallacy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know the capital. You know how everyone talks about this thing called the fictitious name and everything like that, or DBA and all that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, there are laws in place, colonial laws I didn't even know about. Excuse me, forgot my water. So colonial law, since we had the Civil War, things have been changing. Goes the name on your
Yeah.
license, the capitalized name, is a business essentially, or your state that they do business upon. And state and local governments, county governments, state, city governments, things like that, have taken advantage of legal speak that essentially is invisible to either foreigners or people not in the know. That legal speak is of the fictitious name, the body, and the name. You know how they say there's a separation of church and state, or there's supposed to be a separation of
Why is
church
it
and
this?
state when it comes to law?
Hey guys,
It's actually
you
not.
gotta help me figure out how to get the microphone in my headphones, and or sorry, the audio on my headphones and not on my phone.
Really?
Okay.
Bluetooth, or do you have
Yeah,
plug-in?
Bluetooth.
Well,
He's
you
probably
gotta
dealing
sync
with
your
his
oh.
yeah.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah. Oh no, I have a.
No.
I'm on my Note 9.
Oh, good lord, this is gonna. Best way to do it is you got to sync your headphones first.
Sync them. Sync them for what?
I don't know if you can actually. I don't think let you do it from your cell phone though. Think your I think it'll actually automatically cut it out.
Sync it from my. Yeah, because that's. I have both my headphones in, but I just am trying to hear you guys, but I can only hear you through my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing I can think of is unless you put it in your ear like you're talking to us.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
creeping
literally
people
what I'm
out.
doing right now.
I'm creeping people out at the park. I told you to come here, Yam. You need to be here, dude.
Oh, I need to
Live
cut. I need to
creeping
be your
people out at the
beard,
park.
your
No.
blue
You
pill
need to be
beard.
here. Yes, you need to be the blue peer. The nephew in the room is what I need.
Oh
to
goodness,
take the alarmist
the alarm
females
off.
away. The
Yeah,
alarmi, yeah. Because
the
I think the
alarmite.
alarm
Ooh,
has been
that
raised
sounds like a
because
new
there's
class of like a beast or something. Like
it is,
in the
you know, every
bestiary, the alarmite.
alarmi I call women that are inside of public places that raise the alarm that, what are you doing? Like, why are you acting in a way that you are? Like, why are you
Yeah,
sitting here talking to yourself on a computer, playing with your Segway, blah blah blah, by yourself, right? The women that raise the alarm because I've already been passed by 2 people who work at that front desk that I can easily identify. I know that, right? And I already know when
Yeah.
tables nearby me get cleared out. that I'm on
Goodness
a spotlight.
gracious. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So the alarm eye has raised the alarm on where I am and what I'm,
It's like,
what I'm doing. This is not
wee.
normal.
They live. John
They
Carpenter.
live.
Some John Carpenter shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what
Tell
I'm
him to
going through
live
on the
stream when
quad
he
right
walked past you.
now. Huh?
Just tell him you're live streaming when he walked past you next time.
They don't. That's just it. They don't ask. Orange County is weird.
They just
When they
judge you.
raise the alarm, yeah, they judge you and they put you on social media. Like they'll take your picture, put you on social media, and then everybody in the area will completely avoid you.
Yeah, sounds about right, actually.
Place.
You notice it got quiet.
Yeah.
You notice it got quiet
I
around
know,
me all of a
yeah.
sudden because
Yeah.
nobody's coming around me. Everybody's just like put the alarm on. Funny as shit, man. That's fine because now I just got privacy. Thank you. Alarm eye.
Yeah, the alarm they're more passive threats. Than they just they create a like an aura field around you where it's just like you have +1 privacy but also +1 suspicion.
I don't care about the suspicion anymore because, like I said, after learning about the law and the fallacy and everything like that, that shit don't bother me
Of
no
course. No. No,
Yeah,
you just
what was
gotta
this
keep
asked yesterday
What's
about
that?
various
about
MGTOWs?
about oh yeah. Well, I was just gonna kind of throw them out there, but I also feel like it's kind of name dropping, So I just want to be we can just quick give your thoughts and then we move on, or else we kind of risk, stepping on people. So Hammerhand, I already heard you guys were kind of talking about that.
Yeah, Hammerhand. I actually like Hammerhand. I actually respect him, and he's actually a very good mentor and teacher.
Yeah, I
I
respect
have no
him
beef
too.
with Hammerhand.
Mhm.
I have
I
no beef
respect
with him.
Hammerhand. I got nothing against him. Yeah.
Next
Yeah,
person.
I like how he
okay.
sticks up for MGTOW,
Okay.
That's just straight up.
Undead
Especially when he
Chronic.
made the movie and everything.
I actually like
yeah,
Undead
Just for
Chronic.
the
He's
lad.
not MGTOW, he's red pill, but I do like him. I do respect, and I do respect his comedy. Matter of fact, I did a MGTOW video on him.
Yeah. Okay. Wait, who else have you made a meta? So just so there's no overlap. A meta MGTOW video about.
I made like 30 something, I think 20 something or 37 MGTOW videos.
Oh wow.
Did a lot of them.
I know. Damn, that's a lot.
Meta MGTOW
That is
slash
a lot.
red pills videos.
I'll never
Got more to come
understand how you do
when my
these
channel gets
videos.
unsuspended.
I'll never understand how you do these videos so much and be able to work and do your normal life as well.
Easy, like I said, I get other people to upload it. Uploading.
I mean, it's like
when I come up with a title
there's
in a
certain
video,
things that
I'm not
take
really
more
doing the
time.
title.
Yeah, the others, and if you can like offload that work on other people, it probably makes it more streamlined for you. And then you,
I do about 7.
You guys
I do 7 videos a day. I do like 7 videos a day, 7 or 8.
Okay. What about E-Man67? It's your boy, E-Man67. Have you ever heard of him?
Like E-Man67. I don't watch him as much, but I do respect him and I do like his content when I do get around to watching him.
Yeah, E-Man's a good guy.
I like him a lot more than most other people.
E-Man's a straight shooter. That's why he's likable so much.
I like him more than a lot of other people. Unfortunately, I don't really get around to watching his content that often, but when I do, I tend to watch his stuff back to back.
Right. Yeah, there's some content creators where if I'm listening to one of their videos, I have to like go to the autoplay and then select more because I'm just like I can't get enough. Like I know I mentioned it a lot, but Bar and Thinking Ape. I literally have to like binge those whenever I start listening to them.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Thinking Ape.
And it's kind of a waste of
AKA
time in
Stardust.
my own life. Like I literally listen to them so
A
much.
lot of his content.
hmm
Next person.
Okay. What about? Hold on. I have Vention MGTOW.
Like they should make Kyle. He's a fellow cancer survivor like I am. So I respect him for that one, and I respect him that he's doing his best to fight cancer, and actually telling people about other ways to do it without breaking your bank to do it for the most part. I respect that a lot.
That's a good part about it. They like helping people come up with solutions in their life.
He's a very kind person. He's a very down to earth person, and he's a very cool person. I like him a lot.
All right, Pastor Dab.
Pastor Deb, I haven't been able to watch videos that often, but the one that I did watch, I actually liked it.
He's got some good facts. I really got to say that. I mean, his delivery, you got to understand him in order to appreciate his delivery.
You got to definitely understand his delivery. You got to basically know him or be able to spoken to him to actually understand his delivery style.
Good 10 or 15 minutes of one-on-one, and you can see like exactly where he's coming from.
Yes,
I agree with that 100%.
But when he's on the video,
like I said, I've actually talked to him in live stream, so I pretty much know him and I know where he's coming from. Of course, from his delivery style, I pretty much know where he's coming from.
Yeah, and that's sort of where we get to the talk about like different levels. And so like when you meet certain people in the community and then you hear their content and then you exchange with them one-on-one, it's like a different level of interaction that most people who watch the content don't actually get access to. So it actually helps you understand where somebody's coming from, because at the end of the day, like we have completely different meanings on, what we identify as being MGTOW, for example. And it's like the people who create content are kind of like, they're saying certain things that may or may not resonate with their life experience, which is totally fine because it's just it's just content. It's just like their creation, their art. And so it's funny because a lot of people just shame content creators that they feel like they can because they may or may not have the life experience to back up what they're saying. But you just got to get with them for a little bit and hear, where they're coming from, and you start to realize like most content creators are not, they haven't done what every other red pill person has done in regards to like women and stuff or PUAs or anything. Everybody has like their own specific path.
Yeah.
And you really get to understand that when you talk to them.
See, that's what MGTOW separate. That's why everyone goes their own way, because everybody you just mentioned there, you just mentioned a full spectrum.
Yeah.
And in that full spectrum, you got people of different walks of life, and you're right, different experiences and things like that. So their content reflects that different behavior.
Definitely.
Right. And then when you hear people hating it in the comment section and you take that, it's almost like you're engaging the trolls for that person, regardless of how they operate. We talk about real-time integrity. Like it might be that somebody's on a path or they're going to attract a lot of negative attention, but it's not going to affect them. But as a person viewing it, you kind of want to address that negative energy that you see in the comment section or something.
Well,
and then that's creating
a lot of credit.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Credit
I'm sorry, I'm struggling to hear what you're saying, Double I. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear now, I think. I think something was going on with my
Yes.
microphone. But I had lost you at, or I lost you at, I give you credit or something like that? What the hell's going on?
Got a double I?
Is it my thing or is it Double I's connection?
I think it might be double I.
Is
I think it might be double I's connection.
Yeah, because I heard him and then I could sort of pick it out, but then I just like he just cut out. So, but just to build on that previous idea, I mean, it's kind of like when you look at say a rapper, for example, he raps about a certain philosophy, but then people in the world they try to take it and then they try to like apply it or reinvent it, what they're saying, and they end up criticizing that person for saying like he was just a parole officer or something, like, or he didn't really sell drugs, or they just read too much into the lyrical content and they don't actually
Well, the
focus
problem
on.
with that, though, there's a difference between that and what you're saying and what they're doing. What they're doing is actually faking their lifestyle. And I hate that when people do that shit. If you're not a part of that lifestyle, don't do that shit. Don't talk about it. Don't act like you were about it. And like a good example of that is Rick Ross. He didn't sell drugs. He was pretty much a parole officer.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like Drake. Drake didn't start from the bottom. Drake started from a upper middle class upper middle class family with a pool in the ground. I don't know
Right.
anybody who's at the bottom that got a pool in their backyard. Let's just keep it 100. So I
Right.
can't really ride with people who are fake like that.
Right. Right. And that's the thing too. I mean, well, I agree with you. It's kind of like you got to treat a person like the process that they are. And if somebody has a belief system that you don't necessarily agree with, regardless of what they're doing, you got to let that person's beliefs play out. You can't try to live their life for them, and I think
Well,
that
the
we've
problem with that,
maintained a
though,
good
there's a
distance.
difference between letting somebody's belief and somebody and living their life. The thing is, though, if they weren't a part of that life, they're not living their life. Now they're pretending to be a part of that life. It'd be like if I went to the hood and decided that I'm going to be a blood today, I'm going to
Well, no,
get
that's
checked,
that's
and I'm going to
100%
end up
correct.
shot.
Yeah, but I 100% correct, and I think that the internet is kind of like does follow those certain guidelines, in terms of like be careful what you try to act like because you might attract something really bad into your life. Like I think that's 100% true. I'm more talking about as a means of expression. It's like some people just need to get this stuff off their chest and be listened to, and
Yeah, but the
once
problem
somebody
with that,
listens to
though,
them,
is
they'll move on. Yeah.
the problem with that, though, is if it's not really getting anything off your chest. If you're talking about some bullcrap, you're just basically blowing the air up everybody's ass, and you're not really a credible person anymore at that point.
Yeah, you're kind of gassing everybody up in order to feel like what they believe is right. That's
But you
definitely
like what you're trying to preach is actually a good thing when it's really not a good thing, or when it's not even the truth about yourself. Like you can't preach, you can't be talking about you're a part of this life, or you do this, you do that, and you don't even do it.
yeah.
I like stuff. That's the thing about me. I like things to be authentic. I like things to be consistent. If it's not authentic and consistent, I can't really ride with it. He bounced out now. But yeah, as far as that, um, yeah, I lost two people, so I'll continue on that. But yeah, I just like consistency, and for the most part. So if there's no consistency, I can't rap with somebody who's not consistent and authentic. If you know what I mean? It's just the way of the world. How my views on people. It's like, wow, I don't always ride 100% with people. if they lack the consistency and authenticity for the most part. Yeah. As far as that, what else? Another topic. I'm going to speak on the. Oh man, I had a topic about. Had a topic about. Had a topic about the hypocrisy of the left and people in general when they talk about doing various things, running off the Ricky Gervais thing, the awards. The thing I've always found funny that people always talk about how you know they're so woke and they're so this and they're so green and they're so this. The thing about that I've noticed, like I'm a very green person, so my watch is biodegradable and it'll actually biodegrade all the way down to like the lowest molecule. Um, so like it'll pretty much just you can pretty much reuse it. It's all reusable for the most part. Metals. Um, and that's the thing that I've noticed. There's no contaminants in them. It's all 100%. Lolly under. Yeah, it's
Hello.
just it is what it is. However, the problem that I have with a lot of that stuff is when a star says, "Oh well, I believe in this and I believe in that and I believe in this." And the bad part about it is when they talk about like emissions and like global warming, but they rolled up in a jet. They got a private jet and they rolled up in a limit, but they claimed that they're very green. Like you can't be green and be full of shit at the same damn time, or you can't be. I mean, it's just shit like that that just makes me mad about people, and it's like they always want to talk about how much better they are than other people when they're actually not following the
What are
same
you even
damn
talking
rules that
about?
they expect. I'm talking about people in general, how they always talk about like global warming and this, that, and the other, but they're major contributors to actual global warming that they're actually talking about. Like stars, how they talk about we shouldn't do this, we should protect our planet, but they just flew halfway around the world on a jet that they bought not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Like it makes
Like I
no
said,
fucking
it's
sense
like
to me.
they're kind of mixing new age stuff with like the ideas, like the political ideas, like
Oops.
climate change. Like they're kind of mixing
Like
that
it's
whole.
just bullshit. Like
Yeah,
it's bullshit. You can't preach climate change if you're actually destroying the climate too. And another thing that bothers me about the climate change thing is we talk about how all the Western worlds need to change this shit, but all the third world countries are emitting all this pollution, but we say nothing about them. Even if we stop, that means they have to stop too. So what are you going to do? Go to war with them to make them stop? No, it doesn't work like that. They need to grow just as much as everybody else needs to grow. All this climate change and global warming shit is bullshit because if we stop, there's still other countries still doing it. It doesn't really matter. And on top of that, if we stop, then how the hell are we going to get around the world to travel to visit people? Think about that shit. There won't be no more cruise ships. There will be no more airplanes. There will be no. You'll pretty much be swimming to your next destination. Let that shit sink in. It's just shit like
yeah. They
that that
really
just
want to.
makes
They
you
really
laugh.
want to. They want to paint the developed world as like deceptive and like kind of like evil, power hungry, and everything like that. So they can kind of like they can justify like sanctioning them and putting that carbon tax or the
Yeah.
climate
But
tax or whatever on the entities like the developed entities of the world.
yeah, but the problem with that though is you got other countries who actually still do that, or still are up and coming countries that still use all this coal and all this other stuff to make their countries better. So
Right.
even if one country stops or seven countries stop, there's still 180 something countries still doing the same damn thing that they've been doing for a while, or there's countries starting to do the same damn thing that other countries are doing. So this whole entire global warming thing is both bullshit to me and and a stupid argument because once you think about it, China's basically in this problem as we speak, and you got other countries like India and a few other countries that are pretty much up and coming that pretty much do the same damn thing. And there's and that part about it, there's no green countries. There's no 100%, well, besides Costa Rica, 2 years in advance. They were supposed to become green like 2021 or 2022, but they became green like in 2010 or something like that, or 2013. But that's neither there. There's really no green countries, major, like first world countries. There's really no green countries as far as that's concerned. I mean, granted, you got other bikes, you got countries in the European Union and around Europe that actually ride bikes, but still, the fact of the matter is they're not a green country. Bikes, and they still fuck up everything else for the most part. You see what I'm saying? So there's no developed countries that are actually green, 100% green.
Yeah, but then again, it's like they just need some sort of color to like paint whatever country they want as like negative or something, just to justify another war. You know, they just need to be able to be like, oh, they use a lot of energy now. Let's go take all their energy because they don't know how to use it properly. And then all of a sudden,
well, it's not even that. Well, it's not even that. That's just a whole nother. That's a whole nother
right.
topic, and that's a whole nother topic. What I'm saying is like, people want us to change our lifestyle, but they're not talking about the other countries that are doing it way worse than we are. See what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
All the first world countries want us to change what we're doing. We're not talking about the third world country and fourth world countries who are pretty much doing it exponentially worse than what first world countries are doing for the most part, if you know what I mean. That's the problem that I have with that. Like, I can't stand by that or ride with it if you're not doing it yourself. It's kind of like when I talk about the authenticity. If you're not authentic, then I can't ride with you. You can't be out here talking about we need to save whales, but you're wearing you got a whale Gucci purse on you. Come on now, really? You want to save whales now with your Gucci whale purse? Like, it's shit like that that makes it so sick to me. Like, oh, I'm for animal rights and animals should be saved, but you're wearing an alligator.
Walk
got
around
alligator,
with like shampoo on your arm and shit.
An alligator jacket on. Come on now, really, dude? You want to save what? It's just shit like that I hate. I hate hypocrisy for the most part. If you're gonna lie to me, lie to me.
Lie. Yeah.
Yeah, like
they lie,
if you're gonna lie
they think
to me or
fake
something, at least do it better for the most part. That's my thoughts on that. Y'all thoughts on that? Hello?
I totally agree. I mean, it's just like it's toxic, the level of hypocrisy that we live in. It's like most people recognize that, you know, as like men are have a lot of power because they're able to kind of like influence people with their actions in like the public eye, but then they don't want men to express anything about themselves, which would be like it would help people to know exactly how like powerful people do the things that they do if they could express themselves.
Mm-hmm. Man, he got disconnected again. Dang. This is a disconnecting kind of day. There he goes again. Good Lord.
But no, but what I was saying is just like, yeah, powerful, like people who actually have the ability to influence change, they're usually silenced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. People want to act like they're so great and they can do all this stuff, but you know, they can't really advance without the people in power for the most part. Kind of like how they say lean in. They got the lean in movement now, where like they want women to mentor her, basically movement where they want men to mentor her. But you got the Me Too movement going on right now, but you want to mentor her at the same damn time. So you want me to risk my job and my life for her to do some bullshit, basically. And this is why women aren't getting ahead, and this is why women aren't getting ahead in like the business sector for the most part, because they fucked up. They fucked up their chances to do so because with this Me Too
I know
movement.
men who didn't make it very far in their field of work because they were too assertive or too like too how would I want to say, like they didn't get agree with a lot of people that they worked with, so they got kind of pushed out. Like it really doesn't matter what
And that's the thing
gender
about that,
you are. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing
No,
with
go
that
ahead.
though, there's a difference. The difference between that and that. Well, most men that actually in that though are actually got pushed out or get ignored because they're a threat to somebody above them and are scared that they're going to take their job. Whereas nobody's scared a woman's going to take their job. Nobody fears a woman taking her job at all. You see what I'm saying? If you're a man, you come in like just taking the shit like that, and you're basically a threat to the person above you. Hell, I've actually applied for positions where I actually got turned down because I was a threat to the person in that position. I mean, I was a threat to the person above me. You see what I'm saying?
Freaking out. They're like, "Oh shit, we got to get rid of this dude."
You know that your job security's in jeopardy now. If they hire you now, they got to worry about you now taking their job. That's the difference between men and women. Like I said, nobody's scared that a woman is taking her job. Pretty much, if a woman's taking your job, it's because it was forced in the law that she has to take your job for the most part. So nobody's ever been scared of a woman taking somebody else's job. Just the fact that, well, it's kind of like how, like back in the day when, a lot of the companies were starting to, do more overseas shit, and people in America were training people to basically replace them. It's like that, but worse for women. Women, they're basically like nobody has to train women to do it. They basically are just there because women. There's not too many
Like
women. There's
you
not too
don't
many women in
necessarily
their
get.
position that actually earn their position.
Well, think about the men that actually who apply for a position and they ask to be trained and stuff like that. Like they're really going to hire a man on and train him based on the guidelines that they set at the beginning of the work contract. But in a lot of these situations, you just have people being hired to fill a quota, so they don't necessarily nobody really thinks about training them as much as they're just like window dressing for the company.
The sad part about that is there's a lot of women that are actually getting these jobs, don't actually deserve these jobs because they didn't work for it, they don't know anything about it, and they know nothing about computers and anything. They're just basically there because women. And it's sad, but that's literally the reality of the day. You got people in high positions that know nothing about that position.
And
The sad part about that is, if I was to be hired for that position, I would probably, even if I didn't know anything about that, I would probably have a leg up on them because I would probably learn it a lot faster than they could.
Damn, nigga. I hear birds and shit.
Oh yeah, it's California.
Oh.
Yep. It's still like 70 degrees out. Just walking.
But yeah, that's pretty much the reality of that. What's up, Lowly_?
What's up?
Got anything to say on that note?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Like for the last 10 minutes, I was listening to these beats my friend sent me. He sent me some beats, so I kind of had it on muted a little bit.
Any good ones?
So
which one was your favorite one?
You said what?
Which one was your favorite one?
I mean, it's some beats he made. I can show. Wait, where's? Yeah. So how y'all doing today? It's Sunday. Yeah,
Next
church.
topic.
Yeah, church.
What happened?
He said a lonely underscore said something about church.
Yeah, y'all niggas don't go to church. It's Sunday.
I did.
Oh. Well, check out this cool dude. He's cool.
Oh man. What was I going to say? What was the other topic that I was going to bring up?
Oh yeah, I still have more names to go.
Okay, go ahead.
We got L.
What happened to Double I?
You got
Hope he's okay.
Renegade number 1. Oh yeah, I hope he didn't get like ambushed at a park or something.
Yeah, me too.
Wait, what the hell? What was going on with Double I? What happened?
He's in public.
following, then people pretty much raise the alarm at the park because he's at the park. That usual stuff
Wow. What the heck?
women do.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm craving some Taco Bell right now.
Oh goodness.
Last night I had some squid.
Nice.
Yeah, that's delicious.
No, I had a teriyaki though. It was like slimy as hell.
Continue your list.
Huh?
Yeah. Spetsnaz. I haven't actually listened to him.
She likes Spetsnaz stuff. He's very respected. It sucks that he doesn't really make too much content anymore, but I actually like his stuff. Most definitely.
What kind of content?
It's MGTOW Red Pill content.
Oh.
What was the name you were saying before Spetsnaz? Yeah. Hello, Yam. Yam.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, what were the name were you saying before Spetsnaz?
Renegade number 1.
I'm not a fan of his.
See, he just posted a video like today, so
Not a fan of his.
Yeah.
That part about it is I'm not even subscribed to him. So I wouldn't even know that he actually posted a video. I'm not really a fan of his at all. Like, where do I start? I just don't like him. He has too many problems going on with himself for me to actually really want to watch him. Way too many personal problems going on, way too many personal demons going on for me to want to pay attention to his content. That's the nicest thing I can say about him.
Oh wait, are you doing like a meta MGTOW right now?
Oh, no,
it was just one of my. It was just one of my topics. I just wrote down, brainstormed a list of names on YouTube.
Yeah, the thing about him is, like, a lot of MGTOWs might be negative, like say some negative stuff or be negative, but they're not near as negative as he is for the most part. My thoughts on him. He's way too far. And the sad part about it, you can't even blame that on black pill. That's say some black pill shit, and it's not even negative.
Yeah.
I think with
with
accomplishments in life and with like positive affirmation comes like a lot of perspective. And it's like I know a lot of this feels like reality TV, where the more negative it is, the juicier it is, and the more visibility it is. But it gets to a certain point where it's like a fulcrum, where you kind of outweigh a little, like that starts to outweigh that message, and then people get kind of tied up in the message, and it doesn't actually amount to anything in the end. So I mean, it may be popular, like the negative stuff, but it doesn't have like a lot more long-lasting.
I basically look at people who are very, very negative, like I do reality TV. I just don't watch it.
Yeah, as opposed to being like, oh, this is negative. I want to know more about this person's life.
Yeah, no, because I don't really got time for negativity and like bullshit for the most part. That's just my thoughts on that.
Man.
Next person.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too, though. I don't like to hear people complain. I just like to hear people like stride, like, and just be the best person they are. Who got time to hear people bitch?
When I hear a rant,
the sad part about that is a lot of people actually like watching people do that shit.
Well, I like ranting. But like if I have like, there's this video game I did a rant on, but I'm not being
like there's a difference between ranting.
When I rant, it's just like a stream of consciousness.
Yeah,
not really like
ranting and just being negative all the damn time.
Yeah,
like ranting is almost like I just need to get this off my chest.
Right.
Being negative is just you just being negative and you just having zero awareness and zero content to put forth for the most part. You just everything's based on you just being negative for the most part.
I agree to that.
Okay, Lone Wolf 87.
I actually like Lone Wolf 87.
Okay, because yeah, what you just said about negativity, that's what it made me think about.
Lone Wolf, but the difference between Lone Wolf 82, he doesn't really 100% rely on negativity. He brings other things to the table with that.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a very it's not like his personality, if you know what I mean. I mean, he can go that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like he's not always in that mood for the most part, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's why I was like looked at my older content that I used to have, and I would say like I did get really negative, but it wasn't. It was more just as like an art, like I see it like an art form or something, like. But I wasn't using it to like fuel myself. I was being more positive, and being like it'll work out, or this like problems that you actually go through aren't really the center of it, and it's more about self-improvement. And then I start, that's why I like took a lot of it off, because although it's coming from a good place, you know, it's still there's like a part of it where it's like you have to remember your audience and like your responsibilities. Oh, that's what I was going to ask you about, Chico. It's Kappa, like the whole Kappa thing, because I know I know you've gone through it on your other videos, but this can kind of be a place where it's like reiterate it and your thoughts on it. So
yeah.
Well, Tico, I've been meaning to ask your you know your intro, you have the ladies saying like if you're watching this and you're underage, you're like you have shitty parents and stuff. You know that the intro you have?
Yeah.
Like, don't your kids watch it?
Well, yeah, but they're also not 5 and 6 though. They're not under the COPPA law. I mean, like I think it's 13 and under basically. I think the only child that I have that watches is my son Laszlo. That's under that age. However, Laszlo actually went through some shit in real life. Like he actually got Me Too'd at school.
That's funny.
At 5. He was Me Too'd at 5.
Wow.
All because he didn't want to be in a play.
Oh yeah, I remember that story.
So that's the only person that I actually got that watches it. He actually went through some real life experiences that he didn't need to go to as a 5-year-old. And it sucks, but it's actually happened to a lot of 5-year-olds. Matter of fact, I'm actually a part of a group or support group for kids, for people who have children who actually went through this shit. There's a shit ton of boys that went through this shit, and it sucks. Matter of fact, there was an artist. I don't know if I ever told you this. There's an autistic 5-year-old who actually is on a sexual predator list now.
Oh my God, where?
Yeah.
You can't like, be a sexual predator at 5 years old.
Yeah, basically for hugging a girl and no, what did he do? Was it hugging? And he touched some other girl's hair, and now he got to register as a sex offender now. And he's only 5, and he's autistic.
Oh my God! Even if he wasn't autistic, that's still retarded.
Yeah, dude, the teachers are literally creating they're creating an environment where it's just like the male expression is just either shut down or it's villainized, criminalized.
Definitely.
That's just stupid. That's retarded.
Yeah, I think it happened. I want to say it was like Tennessee, Kentucky, somewhere around that area.
Wow, I thought it was going to be like California or something like that.
Sucks, but like, yeah, I'm actually literally a part of a support group for children who actually went through this shit.
So yeah,
not too many. The sad part about that group is there's only mine and like 2 other children that actually made it through unscathed. Like the other children are like suffering in court or got to register for the sexual offenders list and shit like that. And these are all minors.
Are you sure this is in California?
Oh no, it's not just California. It's all over the United States. Like they got chapters in other countries now.
Where I live, shit like that don't happen like ever. Like.
The sad part about that, there's chapters in other countries. Matter of fact, there's a Sydney chapter now that's starting up, and there's a UK chapter that's starting up. And matter of fact, there's a Swedish There's a Swedish chapter that's supposedly upcoming.
Yeah, those different countries, so I don't really care about.
Well,
that.
no, there's one in the United States
Another
now.
thing is that
I'm
they
just
can
about the
really,
United
if they have a,
Yeah, there's
if
one
they
in the
have,
United States.
if they have an agenda, they can make it happen anywhere that they want. Like it's not like it's only a matter of time before it happens everywhere. It's like, no, they just actually find a weakness in, the where all the children are being raised, and then they just say, all right, bet we're going to teach everybody how to be subservient, emasculate all the men and stuff. It's not like you can't really escape it. Like if you're connected into like the culture in America, you're receiving some of that negative. There are some of that those belief systems, and it's really like pervasive in that aspect.
Oh,
You just
double
you
eyes,
could if
okay.
you could be somewhere and then you could turn on the TV, or it's not like that in your neighborhood, but then you turn on the TV and like you're absorbing that information through the mainstream.
That's why I don't watch TV. all my entertainment comes from the internet, and even if it's a video games, if I'm playing a video game and it has some really political stuff that I don't like, I would just stop playing.
Yeah, like when I played Mortal Kombat, I was like, oh, the fighting is cool, but like they have all this weird stuff with the story being all progressive, and then like same with the other games too that I've like come out recently.
You heard of the Outer Worlds?
Yeah, I actually played that game.
That game, I do not like it at all. Like, to me, it's bad. But it's so many.
The first 2 hours of the story are exactly. I was gonna say that. Yeah. There's like a lot of.
I'm glad.
Every man in the game.
Okay. We thought something happened to your ass for a minute there.
But like every man in that game is either retarded, they're inferior to girls. The jobs that the men should be the best at. The two women are like. There's two women mechanics who are like the best in the whole galaxy. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm done with this game.
Double I.
We was getting kind of worried about you. We thought something happened to your ass.
Hello?
Hello, Double I. Bye.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like your picture, Double I.
Basically. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can
I can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Between a thought and a hard place.
Can you hear me now?
He's on the realm.
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, hello, who's speaking? I can't hear. Can you speak up? Who?
He's good. That's Double I.
Oh.
Keep going. I'm gonna try and figure out a better connection.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Games are a big thing too. It's kind of like when we were talking about spaces being cut off. It's like you really can't go anywhere. I have always, when growing up, wanted to go to a place where I could learn how to be a man. Because I didn't have my dad around. But but then like the avenues for that have slowly been getting cut off. Police filled with women, military filled with women, gaming now is like Twitch is run by women. Everything, every little avenue where you could be like. Let me start to collect money and get myself set up amongst like other people who are feel the exact same way and want to better themselves. Those channels are all being intervened with and invaded by like women and stuff, and it's actually like really frustrating to be without your creative outlet, because you can't really practice it without somebody trying to upset that time or the time that you have and like the space that you occupy. I know a lot of people out there are kind of confined into their man caves when like the rest of the square footage of the house that they live in is actually dominated by a different entity. And it's hard to watch and hard to witness, because those people need to think in a larger perception about what they have and what they're talented at and have available to them, and they don't get to have it because somebody else is taking their name, taking everything that they are and putting it to use for themselves and like sucking it out.
The sad part about that whole entire thing is they're starting to get rid of the man caves now, because they say it's a bad thing, but they have safe spaces now, or women's only spaces now. And like that just bothers me. Like, so you're going to get rid of the man stuff, but you want to have your own stuff at the same time. And that stuff just bothers me when people do that shit. Or my thing that pissed me off the most was when Trump won the election, They actually took off for college for 2 weeks. They let people have out for a week so they can get their emotional state together.
Oh my
Then they open up safe spaces so people can cry in college. You pay all this fucking money for your child to go to school, for the college to basically
college
that?
sets
Come
their
on now.
standards. It's like we already understand that as millennials, there are just billions of us and we don't stand out. But then colleges even get to now accept you regardless of your performance. It's like, how am I going to stand out if literally everybody around me gets the exact same degree for slacking off, drinking and fucking and like doing drugs, and I actually like take the time to study? Like that doesn't make any sense. That's another avenue that's closed off. Like there's tons of stuff that's happening now like that,
college.
and it's kind of like, yeah, college.
College. It closed up. It's I don't think it's worth it going to college these days unless you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something like that. Because anything else you can pretty much learn on your own. So I think there's multiple reasons college is doing great.
The college also has like a buzzword to it where it's like it's popular. But the thing about things that are popular that can help you is that it's like trying to check into a hotel that you know is very attractive, a very popular hotel, and then you get mad when it's booked. You get mad when it's fully booked. It's like you don't know what are you going to expect if you want like an experience that's amazing. Other people are going to want that shit too, and you're going to have to compete with them in order to get it. You can't just get it handed to you. You can't have a whole grand hall just vacated just because you don't agree with those people in it, and you want to feel just a vast empty space all to yourself. That's not how like commerce works. And I see it now just how it works. Exactly. I mean, I just see that as like a fucking just a reminder when I walk out like on a Friday night on like in Orange County, and it's just there's nobody around doing anything contributing at all to any of the businesses or anything. It's just dead. Because that's what people have done. They've taken all of that creative space for thinking and that creative space for connecting and relating to people, and then they just like hollowed it out because they think it's dangerous. Like they're afraid of it. So that's what you get now: empty streets.
I thought you were about to talk about affirmative action.
Yeah, double I.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
You.
Oh, you can hear us. We heard you.
Excellent.
We thought something happened to your ass for a minute there. We thought you got jumped by like the brigade.
Listen, man, it got weird real quick after I got off the thing with you guys because I just like left because it was just getting weird. People were asking me questions.
Did it work?
When you don't, yeah, the moms, like, hey, which team are you going with? Like what is that? Is that a R2D2 droid? Where did you get that? How much is it? All those questions, and I was like, you know what? I'm out, and I'm just out. These thoughts are not going to get through.
Yeah, the sad part about that, they probably did that so they can actually annoy you, so you can actually leave.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm in a park in Orange County.
Yeah.
You're asking Star Wars questions? What the hell?
No, they're talking about a Segway.
Vaccinated. They're just like literally they're in a like a happy rainbow world, and then somebody comes along with something that doesn't stand out. They're like, ooh, let's bring a lot of attention to this. Oh, this is really interesting. Instead of just leaving that motherfucker alone. Peace and quiet. It's a fucking park. Yeah. It's a place where you go to like.
The sad part about that nowadays, yeah, that sounds great and all, yeah, but you have to realize we live in a society now where men can't be at the park no more. Hell,
right.
Creepy.
You can't be alone.
All you can do is work at the oil field, go home, sit on the couch, watch TV.
Well,
you
no,
can't
it's not
do anything else outside of that.
Men can't do stuff like be at the park or be at the beach by themselves, because then that raise a red flag and you're villainized for that. But women can do that all the time, but men can't do that.
That is correct.
That's the society we live in.
Well, when I see him, if I see like well, it depends on the man. If he looks like an older dude just by himself, and it just like it look weird, especially to the park has kids.
Thank you. I know, and it feels weird. It feels weird too, being there. It feels
weird for me when I used to pick up my sister from school, and I used to.
Well, the thing with that though,
so weird.
See, the problem with that though is it's not just that. Like hell, when I'm at the park with my children, I get villainized.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
So it's not just men at the park doing nothing basically. Hell, I've seen women at the park with nobody, and nobody questions them at all.
Yeah.
They're just at the park. And the sad part
Correct.
about that, it's like they villainize men no matter which you're at the park. Reason
It is.
Well, you got to think about this too, Tico. Like, for the most part, you have single moms. So if the mom's there by herself, it's automatically assumed she's probably a single mother. But you don't really see that many single fathers, so that's probably why too. Especially
well,
if you're just sitting there watching.
Like, no, it's not even that though. That's the thing though. It could be fathers that are in relationships that get treated like this.
Devil's advocate. I'm just speaking. That's probably what they think. Because like if you on average, we see more. Everybody I met, I never met anybody who had a single dad. It's always been a single mother or both parents or grandparents, no parents. I never really met somebody with a single dad, and I think that's just a common thing. So if you see like a man at the park just sitting down on the bench watching kids play, it's automatically gonna be assumed he might be a pedophile. But if you see a single woman just in there, she might just be a single parent.
Yeah, but the problem with that whole entire thing is single parents are only 10% of the population,
Okay.
give or take. So you can't say that about all single parents.
Still don't defeat my argument though. There's still because you still more on average we see more single moms than single dads.
Well,
so
yeah, but like,
defeat the argument.
It doesn't matter about because see the problem with that, it doesn't matter if you're single or not. Even if you're married, you're at the park and you're a dad with his own children, you'll get villainized.
The average person may look at the. I'm just saying, coming from the people who think the dude might be creepy, they don't know he's married. They just see a single man right there by himself watching kids. But if you see the single mom, it's going to be automatically assumed that she might be a single parent, even if she's married.
Well, no, we're not talking about from single parents at all. It's not.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's
like,
the
as a parent. Period. Like men don't get seen as parents at all. You see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, like that's probably why they think the man is creepier than the woman. If she's there by herself, just watching the kids.
And the sad part about it is what I'm trying to tell you is, if there's a woman there and she has no attachment to anybody at the park, she's perfectly fine.
I'm saying,
if a man, now listen, hey, hold on 1 second before you finish that. Before you finish that statement, if a man's at the park with his family and his wife is there too, he's looked at as he's villainized, even with his wife there.
Okay,
that's how bad it is.
I don't believe that. I never.
No, that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is.
I don't know about
true.
that. If the dude is there by himself,
that's true.
I can back that up. Yes.
Because a good example of that is when we go to the park as a family.
I think
me and the
both
Cartel Princess.
I got asked. I think both of y'all.
No, when me and the Cartel, and I'm actually going to tell you this now.
Okay, have you ever been married?
When me and the Cartel Princess go to the park together,
all right, the fucking park, and then nobody be just staring at the dude with his wife, like. But I know
he's not. Nobody's staring, but you get villainized. That's what he's talking about.
You get villainized. Because the thing is, though, and the thing that you're missing on for is that's like the good example of that is when I'm at the park with the Cartel Princess with my children. Okay, cool. Like nobody says anything to the Cartel Princess, but everybody's looking at me and treating me like I'm not supposed to be there, even though we're together at the park. You see what I'm saying now?
I don't know. I never seen that because I even though I haven't been married.
That's because you don't have to deal with the reason why you don't see it because you never have to deal with it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Let me give him my example.
Well, that's the thing, though. Reason why you don't see it, just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen, and because you don't have to deal with it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Like a good example of that, if you were to take your nephew or your niece, if you have any, to the park, people will look at you strange. I'm willing to bet any money. People will look at you strange.
You say if you just take your niece to the park?
If you take your niece or nephew, I'm telling you, if you take your by yourself. If you were to take your niece or nephew to the park and play with them, they will look at you differently.
Okay, yeah, that's a different story. But I'm saying if you're there with your wife.
Oh, no. The thing is, it's your niece and nephew, and they want to go to the park. Though. Do you not understand that? It's
to me, I think
it's your family member, and they want to go to the park.
All those examples are like the exact same, and that it's just the way that men are portrayed. If you go to any place where it's like stereotypically supposed to be just a woman and children, that like a shelter, for example, it's you're automatically put in a caste below them because you have all these negative connotations associated with being a dude. That people don't want to feel comfortable with you around women or children, and they want to put you're the first person that they go to in order to ostracise. Like
the sad part about this, I spoke about this in a video about a guy who's married to a black woman, and he was at Walmart with his children. They actually called the police on him and said that he kidnapped his own children. They were half and half kids. He actually had the police called on him.
Where you're coming from, but I just don't agree.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it actually happens a lot.
Let me give him
my perspective. Men are actually being arrested for having their own children with them for kidnapping.
You could try.
Let me give him my perspective, Tico. Let me give him my perspective. Essentially, when a man and his wife take his children to the park nowadays, and even 10 years ago, all right, you're looked at differently, and here's why. Here's why, exactly why. So if I'm up there playing on the playground, even though my wife was down there, you know, on her cell phone, whatever the fuck, sitting on a bench, it doesn't matter, right? They know we're together because we came there together. Obviously, every eyeball was on us because that's what you do as a parent, is you make sure your eyeballs on everything that approaches that playground. So because all eyeballs were on us when we arrived, everyone knew, and the basis was, this is a family. We got out of the same fucking car, period. Then,
true story.
While she's doing whatever she's doing, if I'm playing on the playground grounds with my children, all the other children are corralled away from me and my children. If my children are alone, other children will approach them. But if I'm with them, pushing the swing, or even near the swings with them, everyone else scatters.
Facts.
I'm still have to disagree until I experience that. That's just something, because I don't.
You haven't been married, so you can't even disagree because you've never been in a situation.
If I say something, if I agree with y'all though, that even though I have
using the wrong word.
What's wrong with agreeing with somebody if just because you haven't experienced it? What's wrong with agreeing with somebody that you haven't experienced?
Because like you're using the wrong words. It's not that you disagree; it's that you have not experienced.
Yeah, and I've never seen it, so I'm not just going to take your word about experience.
Okay, so then you can't say you disagree with it.
Just because
you can say,
okay,
I haven't seen this argument. I never hear this argument. Anytime I agree with something, I've never been married. But when I do agree with something MGTOW says, they never say, oh, you never experienced it, so you can't even agree with us. But if I disagree with that, because look, I'm speaking as an outsider. When I was a kid and I played at the park, when I played with my sister or whatever, I'd be at the park. And I know if I see a man by himself, I would think that look kind of weird if he just by himself. I'm speaking as an outsider, as what the
that's because that's the society that you grew up in.
If I see a kid, if I see a family there, and the dude's playing with his kid at the park, and especially if I seen him came in, if it's an interracial thing, that's more complicated. But if they're the same race or whatever, and they hanging out, they playing at the park, I don't think the men look weird at all. I'm just speaking from my point of view.
The sad part about that, that's you though. There's other people, there's women who don't think. There's women that don't think the same way you
do. That's why I say I gotta experience it, because I'm not just about to take y'all word for that. I gotta experience that myself.
Right. You don't have to. You don't have to
take my word for it. I got.
We're not asking you to take our word for
that shit. Like, you don't have to take my word for it. I've been arrested at the park playing with my children multiple times.
Right.
But that's the thing, though. Just because you get.
That's why I'm saying you're using the wrong word.
It doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
But yeah, I'm not just going to believe it happened to y'all because I never seen it. I have.
Here's the thing.
Who wasn't my mom's husband at the park, and they never did that.
Hold on a minute. Listen for a second. You're using the wrong words. When you come at us and say you disagree, that's one thing. But when you say, okay, I haven't experienced it, that's something different. That's totally different. You're using the right words then in that context. See, we're not asking you to agree with us. How can you blindly agree with something you have not experienced? That's absolutely impossible.
And what's the argument for?
If you don't know, if you've not been there, if you cannot validate, then you're not in disagreement or agreement. You cannot do either.
Then what's the point of bringing up a topic if we just saying at that point we just kind of complaining? If there's no discussion to it, you can't have
there's dissection.
Because
there's dissection. Yeah, there's not complaining.
Example, my mom and one of her boyfriends a long time ago, they took us to a park, this big national park in my city. he was playing with us, just her, and while she was over there drinking wine coolers or whatever, he was throwing us on the swing, pushing us. Nobody was giving him nasty looks. He didn't complain about being villainized.
How were you then?
I just let y'all speak. Let me speak, please. I was like 6 years old. I was a kid. I didn't know how to use the swings. So he was pushing me on the swing. The dude don't look anything like me. He's way darker. He was tall. Well, he's a man. He's a whole. We weren't his kids. So he was pushing on the swing, and he didn't go home talking about, man, they at the park they were asking me weird questions. We was at a big national park. Well, it's not a national park, but it's a big park in my city.
I can actually answer that question real quickly before you even
so
finish.
It doesn't happen to everybody. Like,
well, no, it happens to everybody. The thing that you don't realize about him and you is you were 6. You don't understand the whole entire concept of looks and how people treat people because you were 6.
But he didn't. He wasn't complaining about that when we got home. They would just
think though he's not going to complain about that.
Nobody's going to complain about that.
When it's happening to me, I don't complain about it at all. When it's happening to me, I don't complain about it at all.
But
no. He's not complaining about it. He's bringing it up to help you to understand the example.
I'm just saying it can happen to some people. It don't happen to everybody. Because
trust me, it happened to him. Trust me, it did happen to him. He's not going to talk about it because there's not a space for him to talk about like there was. There's not a space for him to talk about it back then like there is today.
Yeah, why would you talk about that?
I'm just going to say I don't agree. I'm sorry.
There are things that I've been through. I'm not going to
change my mind.
I would just say that there are things that I've been through that I know a lot of people can't relate with or necessarily they haven't experienced. I'm not going to go ahead and say that that I want them to agree with how I see it. I'm just going to share what happened to me, and then however we dissect it in here, we're just bouncing ideas around. I'm not trying to convince anybody to believe something just because I've experienced it. I'm definitely not going to do that. But I'm just going to.
Yams.
Yeah, this is Yam. My 2 cents on it is like I can't claim to know what somebody has gone through with their kids or in a different in an environment where maybe I'm not as cognizant of those things because I haven't lived it. But at the same time, if there's something that I haven't experienced before, I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be scared of it or be afraid of knowing what happened. I'm just going to let that person tell their truth.
There's a difference between saying I don't believe it than saying, well, I never experienced it, so I don't believe it. That's two totally different things. There's a two totally different answers.
I said, I said that. So I don't know why.
That'd be like me saying to you, I don't believe you're a rapper.
No, but I literally rap. So
that'd be like that would literally like you saying that would literally like.
I'm not a rapper. I do rap sometimes, but not all the time. So I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be like me saying Double I's not Indian.
I mean,
Dam's not Filipino.
But yeah, that's the thing
though. It's kind of like statistics.
I just got to experience.
It's kind of like statistics. It sucks that it happens, but it still happens.
Right.
Like there's a.
That's what I say.
90. What is like 80? 90%. Like a good example of that is, I'm African American. I'm black. Not 80%, 80 or 90% of prisons is filled with black people. I don't believe that's. I'm not going to say I don't believe it. If that's the statistics, that's the statistics. They say it's 80% of it filled with blacks, and that's actually a statistic, and that's actually somewhat true. The sad part about that is it's a statistical fact. Men get picked on at parks more than anybody else, or men get eyeballed at parks, or even when they're with their family, they get eyeballed at parks, or the beach, or national parks, or the store, more than women do.
See, I got to see the statistic.
Matter of fact, the best part about that was there was a woman that kidnapped a child. And she was actually in public with this child, and nobody said a damn thing about it. And the sad part about that, there were signs up saying that this child is missing. Nobody batted an eye at this woman who kidnapped this child. And that actually happened in Florida. But a man at Walmart, shopping at Walmart for food with his daughters, could be arrested for kidnapping his own daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually a national news story. And his daughters were crying. They were traumatized because that's my daddy. What are you doing with my daddy? That's my daddy. They actually literally had to call the man's wife just so he can actually be free. The sad part about that, he didn't even get free. He actually went to jail. He got processed and everything. His children had to sit there at the police station while they waited for their mom to come collect them. When this all could have been avoided.
I really don't care how anybody, how any majority of people thinks. That should never be an option for somebody. So just a man,
but that's the thing, though.
living his free life.
Yeah, that's
the only problem that I have. It may be that you.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, the problem with that, Yam, is I would love for that to be a thing too. But unfortunately, when you're being arrested at a park with your children, which happens to me quite often, that's a problem there. I cannot not think about what other people think about me.
Okay, but what was Yam saying? Because I didn't hear what he said at all. What'd you say, Yams?
That if something terrible happens only to a minority of people, that doesn't mean that we just don't need to focus on it, because the effect that it has on that minority of people is like life-changing and traumatic. I mean, say what you want about something being like not visible or not. If you haven't experienced it, it doesn't, or if you haven't seen it, it doesn't exist. Like if I come onto some new information that's I've never really heard about before, if I can verify that or validate that somehow, I'm definitely going over that new information, as opposed to like maybe if I haven't on the off chance I haven't ever experienced or seen it.
My thing is, if it's a minority thing, I do believe mistakes happen. I'm not just about to go. I'm not going to. If it's just the small minority where fucked up shit happened to, I'm not about to give all my energy to that.
A mistake is not being arrested at a park with your children at least 5 times in a month. That's not a mistake. That's a regular occurrence.
That's something that happens on a daily. So yeah, if that happens to you, dang, that sucks. But if it doesn't happen to the average man, like all the time.
Trust me. In other countries, it does quite often happen to other men.
Hell,
Australia has that problem now.
I'm American.
And it's pretty soon it's going to be a thing. And pretty soon, with the rising tensions in America, it's going to be a thing in America.
Before that stuff happened, like I don't care about other countries unless I'm planning to move there.
Well, the sad part about that is you don't care about other countries, but the stuff that other countries do now, America is going to end up doing later.
That's when I'll worry.
Especially with the feminist movement.
But as far as other countries, I don't care. I'm not the tradition.
The thing is, though, you should care.
Would you say that you're pragmatic?
Pretty soon, the shit that's happening in Sweden is going to be the shit that's happening in America, where they're dressing little boys up like little girls.
And that's why I say it's
only a matter of time before that shit actually happens in America.
That's the thing. When it does come here, that's why I worry about it. I don't care about other countries. What can I do about that? But what you was asking me, Yams.
What do you care about right now? Like, what are some more pressing issues to you in your mind?
I care about me, trying to build on myself. Well, because I'm not to a point in life. I'm not at the point I want to be where I should worry about other people's issues. That's the main thing right now, is getting myself together. And if I do want a family in the future, I don't want to have a family right now, because I think it would just be irresponsible. Because I struggle to take care of myself sometimes, so I want to take care of any other kids, any kids or a girl. And then I don't care about other countries, because that doesn't affect my life at all. Like,
I think as though it does affect your life.
No, it doesn't.
That's like that's like saying with the price of Japan, I got to do with me.
It doesn't.
Trust me, because our economy is the world. Our economy is like.
You're ready to listen? I'll prove it to you.
But this is what I'm saying, though. Until that shit comes to America, that's when I worry about it.
False.
No, how you gonna tell me what I feel? How you gonna say that's false for me? What the fuck?
It's false.
How you telling me how I feel?
Like I said, when you're ready to listen, I'll explain it to you.
No, that's you're. I already tell you. If you're going to tell,
we have a global economy. Trust me, everything affects you. If somebody blows up an oil rig, if somebody blows up an oil rig, I'm gonna end this right now. If somebody blows up an oil rig in Iran, and your price of gas will go up like tomorrow, like $5.
You gonna learn real.
There's a reasoning for that.
I thought you were asking me what I care. What do I care about right now? I thought that's what you're asking me, because I don't care.
Everything is affected by the other parts of the world. Everything you do, every aspect of your life is affected by somebody doing something stupid in another country.
Yep.
Well,
That's just economy.
That's literally what I said.
That's just basically the
happens
economic world. That's how it works.
That's how I care. Whatever's going around.
United States
he's
isn't in this world by
he's
themselves.
saying that he's analyzing everything that's happening,
connected.
and he only considers it if it actually, like, for example, if it affects prices or anything that he actually interacts with on a daily.
So
when I say
everything else he doesn't care about.
Yeah,
so you're reactive.
Yeah, I'm reactive.
You're saying
you're basically
reactive.
You're not preventative, basically. So when shit actually happens, you're the last person to know about.
You know what?
Got it.
Living as Cypher is not a bad way to live.
Well, yeah, it is when you actually learn about something late and shit actually already happened.
Because remember, Cypher.
That's kind of like the guys in the movies. That's kind of like the guys in the movies for the zombie apocalypse. They had no clue that what was going on, but the news story kept on saying we have a zombie apocalypse, like Shaun of the Dead, and you find out when you get bit by a fucking zombie.
Don't talk about that's my movie.
Everybody done excommunicated the neighborhood.
Don't start talking about zombies. I love
that's literally how most people live. That's literally how most people live.
I'm aware.
I don't understand how when it's happening. They've been talking about it for like a long time on the news. They've been talking about it a long time in the media. How the hell don't you know it's happening?
Who got time to be like who got time for that shit? Like, I got enough stuff going in my life right now in America to be just caring about other countries. That's why.
But on that note, I'm out to end this live stream because I got to get going to the park with children again. Speaking of which, so this should be an interesting experience.
You better try not to get
I got to end this live stream, guys.
All right.
Y'all have a good one.
Hey, I'm signing out. Be healthy, live long.
Double I, avoiding parks at all costs.
Parks in California. That's
in
sad.
California. Yes, it is.
Only in America. Well, but in Australia and Sweden and the rest of the UK and the Western world.
Hey, can I give a shout out to somebody?
Who? I
want to give out a shout out to a very special bird on the internet called the shoebill, and it's in Japan.
Okay.
So if you go to I think it's HIRO at sea, Hero at Sea channel, they have this bird in I think a sanctuary in Japan, and you'll see how it interacts with the zookeepers and stuff like that. I think it's a very awesome thing for people to see.
Okay, cool. Y'all go check that out, most definitely. And y'all have a good day. And this was a lovely live stream. Good night, everybody.